Fantastic. Alrighty, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. If anybody misses anything, I apologize for them. I hope the sound is okay. I hope that's all good. If it is not, send me a text message or what have you. It'll be all good. And we'll rock and roll. Cool. I'm going to share my screen, and we're just going to start diving in right into the content. If you get an email for us or anything like that, you already know who we are and what we do. Chase Thompson, Note MBA podcast. So let's dive right in. This is actually going to be some content that I shared at the Noteworthy convention. So that way we can, it was supposed to be its own hour-long event, but it didn't turn out to be that way. And so it's all good. And so now I'm just going to present it now as an hour-long bit, so that way we can rock and roll. So I'm going to share my screen here. Let's see. Hopefully you can see that. If you can't, I'm sure someone will send me a text message and let me know that you can't see it. Either way, we'll rock and roll. So moving on, the first thing that we want to cover is social media. When it comes to marketing and social media, this is incredibly important for a lot of different reasons. Social media allows you to do and gives you a lot of really great opportunities when it comes to I'm going to flip this to full screen real quick. It gives you a lot of really great opportunities to engage with the audience that you're trying to engage with the customers that you're trying to do. But what's really important to remember when it comes to social media is native storytelling. And of course, they have the ad platforms and all that kind of stuff. But what's really, really important is that native storytelling that you do. Using the platforms in the way that they were intended to be used is incredibly, incredibly important. So these are currently the tools that I use most frequently when it comes to social media. The first one is going to be Buffer. Now, this is an app that I use to schedule a lot of my content that goes out socially. So I mentioned to a lot of people that this webinar would be a little bit more interactive, and it's going to be. So I'm going to be switching back and forth between screens and things like that. I hope that the internet is able to keep up, but it should work out pretty well. So this is Buffer right here. This is the app that I use to be able to schedule all of my social media. So what you can see here is you can see where I'm logged in with Twitter right here. If you have any questions or anything like that, you can send them to that Twitter account right there. That is at ChaseTH, CHASETH. And so what you do when you come in here to schedule information is you literally just come in, you can type whatever you want, hey, what's up, whatever. And then you can add it to your queue. Now, when you add this content to your queue, it lets you know when the first time or when that content is going to be best viewed by the people that you follow. So you can see right here at 11:43 a.m. my time, that is going to be the best time for this particular tweet to go out. So it schedules it for you. It sets the time for you. It does all that kind of stuff for you, which is really, really, really cool, right? So what's neat is that if you're not quite up to speed, whether it be on Facebook or LinkedIn or anything like that, on what content you should be putting out, you can actually click on this suggestions tab. And you can go in here and see suggestions of content that people, are sharing currently socially or anything like that. And you can actually change the topic. So if you want to share marketing content or anything like that, you can change it. So even if you don't have content of your own, you can send in that, you can schedule out that other content. I can see it. Thank you for that. That looks totally weird and creepy on the screen, but I wanted to make sure you guys could see this. So anyway, really, really cool app. The one caveat to scheduling anything online when it comes to social that you want to remember is that you want to not schedule a ton of content up front. Only schedule about 10 to 12 posts at a given time. And the reason why you want to do that is because you don't want to be that guy that is sharing content at the wrong time. If something crazy happens out in the world and you are sharing content, people view you as very insensitive, terrible marketing move that you could do on yourself. So you want to make sure that you're not sharing too far out and that you're not sharing too much content at any given time, because if something happens, you want to be able to go in and take all of that stuff down, if that makes any sense. Cool? The next thing that we're going to be talking about is Instagram. So Instagram is a really cool social tool that I think a lot of real estate investors and real estate people in general are not using properly. They're sharing bad, terrible photos, bad video, things like that. And they can really do a lot more for themselves very easily if they use a few different tools. And we'll actually talk about some photo tools a little bit later that will help you on Instagram, funny enough. But what I wanted to show was a couple of videos that I also showed out at Noteworthy. And these were videos that I used way back in the day when I was helping start a baseball brand. So if I can play these, we'll see. I don't know, but it'll at least give you an idea of what I'm talking about. So I don't know if you can see these videos, if they're playing on your screen or not. I'm sure someone will tell me. But these are much more engaging videos than what you see most real estate people come out with. And from a real estate perspective, here's a great video as well. So this video comes to you from the Corcoran Group out of New York. Now, granted, this is not what your typical real estate investing property will look like unless you're doing a rehab, but you can get an idea of how video can be much better used within your current marketing efforts, and you can do better work that way. So when it comes to using video on Instagram, there's a lot of things that you could potentially be doing better. It's an important platform. And when you're natively storytelling, when you're using all 15 seconds to tell a better story about an investment piece or real estate piece or whatever the case may be, or an inspirational Tuesday post or whatever it is, you can do a lot better for your business, and you'll increase your business dramatically because you're showing off your product in a better light than you currently are. When it comes to Facebook, first of all, as it says there, if you're not familiar with Facebook, you need to see me after class. Facebook has been around for a very long time. It is an amazing platform. But the one thing I wanted to highlight with regards to this webinar on Facebook is the use of video. So I'm actually going to use two images here to demonstrate what I'm talking about with this. So there's Mr. Woods right there over in the right-hand corner. He's the only one that used the Q&A section. That's terrible. Anyway, what I want to show you here, this is Gary Vaynerchuk. A lot of you know who he is that are watching this, and some of you might not, which is fine. But he is an amazing entrepreneur. He runs a large digital ad agency. He had Wine Library TV, which was an amazing wine YouTube channel, all these other things. But this is a guy who gets it on so many levels. And if you can see right here, this is his actual YouTube channel. This is when he shared a video that he did at USC on entrepreneurship and what have you. So this is a cut up version of it right here, but you can see right here where this says 725 views. That is on his official YouTube channel. So that's pretty telling. 700 views. I know a lot of us will be pretty pumped about that, but this is Gary Vaynerchuk. He's much bigger than that. The whole video right here got 10K at the time of this screenshot views. At the same time it was shared on Facebook, this is a screenshot from my phone. It had 22,000 views. So I'm gonna let that sink in. YouTube, the video platform for one of the largest people in social media and marketing today, had 10K views on the official one, 700 on a broken out version. And right here, we had 22,000 shared at the exact same time. Facebook is quickly becoming a very important medium when it comes to video within social spaces and within marketing. I highly recommend that if you're doing video, you need to be doing it over on Facebook, whether it's on your personal page, business page. We could talk about business pages later if you want, but video is huge, huge, huge over on Facebook. And when you have someone like Gary Vaynerchuk showing much larger numbers on a platform that he's just now starting to do video heavily, you can see where that power, kind of exists for you as just the regular marketer, the regular person within the marketing and advertising space as a real estate investor. So next up, let's close this down. Next up, we have Periscope. Now, Periscope is an app that a lot of you guys probably wouldn't hear about too much if you weren't on this webinar or you weren't with us at Noteworthy. It's a new app. It is a live video streaming app. It just got purchased by Twitter. This app is going to explode. I highly recommend that you go download Periscope and play around with it. It is an app on your phone. You can also obviously put it on an iPad or something like that. But what this app allows you to do is it allows you to live stream whatever is happening right now. So actually, none of y'all follow me on Periscope, I don't think, because not too many people know about the app. But if I were to jump in right now, I'm going to do doing a live webinar. I'm actually posting this right now on Periscope. So if you happen to be following me on Periscope, which again, you are not, unfortunately, you can see right now that I've got my lights set up, I've got my computer, I've got my microphone, I've got all that kind of stuff going on. And so I've got this live streaming thing happening right now. And if you're already using Periscope, jump on, make it happen. But if you're not, the power is tremendous. So if I flip the camera around here, you can see my lovely mug. Hey guys, what's up? Oh, look, there's a couple of you on Periscope. I'm saying hi to you now. This is amazing. But it's an amazing tool, amazing app. Get on, start using it now. The one thing I want to address right now as it pertains to Periscope is this. You need to be getting on platforms like a Periscope, like an Instagram, like a Snapchat, like a Meerkat, much sooner than you currently are. Let me see if there's any questions you guys got right now. No, we're good. A lot of people are hesitant to jump on new apps because they feel like it'll be a waste of time if the app doesn't blow up or something like that. I have the opposite opinion. I think that the 6 to 10 months that you put into something like a Periscope or heck, even a Snapchat or a Meerkat or anything like that, the 10 to 8 months that you put into that, if it does fizzle out, you'll have a lot of marketing experience that you wouldn't have had otherwise, which is really, really, really important. But on top of that, if it blows up and becomes the next Facebook, you were a first mover. You were someone that got on the platform before anyone else was there. So you can do a lot of things for yourself by being a first mover on these types of platforms. Cool. Next up, we have visuals. So we were talking a bit about Instagram, and we were talking about the power of better visuals within your business. Strong visuals across your business, blah, 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 not just social, are important. They can quickly convey value and benefits. We all know this, but not all of us are necessarily that keen on tools like Photoshop or things like that to be able to do better visuals. So these are some of the tools that I use, including Photoshop, but these are the ones I use. These are all internet-based. These are not apps, so you don't have to go download anything. The first one is Canva. The next one is PicMonkey, and the last one is Compfight. Now, I have Fiverr on the list because you can jump in there and pay someone very cheaply to do some great blog graphics and all these other things for you, as well as numerous other things across Fiverr. But when it comes to graphics, you can pay very little and get a lot of value out. So we're going to dive into some of these apps right now: Canva, PicMonkey, and Compfight. Do we have any questions? So let's close down buffer here. So this is Canva right here. Again, I hope you can still see the screen. If not, someone text me and let me know. But this is Canva. What you do is you log in, canva.com, and you can see what you have an opportunity for right across the top when you jump in. So let's say you wanted to do a better Instagram post, let's say. You can jump in right here, click on that as your canvas, and it'll bring up this beautiful screen that's already got a square kind of setup for you. And you can jump in and you can click, vacation, right? You can add your own text. You can add all of your own kind of, things here, hashtags, whatever you want. And it obviously will take off that little, cross Canva bit there. But you can add text. You can add a different background. You can drag in some of their quotes. You can do a lot of really fun stuff here. This is a really powerful, piece of software that allows you to do a lot of really great things. You can do a Facebook cover for your Facebook group or your Facebook page or your business page. you know, inspired, blah, 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 you know, photography or whatever the case is. You know, noodle markets. I don't know why that would matter to you, but you can see what you can do with this. You can add text just like you can with all the other ones, and you can just go right up here and share it. You can go right up here and download it. Very cool, very neat little app. Next up, we've got PicMonkey. Now, this is actually a picture of an asset right here that is down in, I believe, Florida. So this is a really cool little free app you can use here, picmonkey.com. And you can jump in here. You can crop your image if you want to change the crop on it. You can change the exposure if it's not, you know, if it's too dark, too bright. You can do a lot of fun stuff with that there. You can do a lot of really cool things. You can just auto adjust it and it'll go, here you go, fixed. This is what I think this image needs to look like. This is the kind of stuff that you want to do if you're posting your images to, say, your website under a portfolio page or something like that. The most powerful thing, I think, is the ease of resizing your photos within this app. So this is 1500 by 1200. That's a pretty large, you know, image. If you're posting it to your blog or something like that, you know, you can drop it down to, say, you know, whatever, 600 by 480. So it looks very similar, right? It keeps the proportions, but now you have a smaller image that's going to upload faster, load faster, and help your page, you know, do all the things from an SEO standpoint, be mobile friendly and all that kind of stuff. It's not going to be too large for a phone, things like that. So you can also come in, you can do some general enhancements, you know, very similar to what you would experience with a, you know, a Photoshop or something like that. You know, you can come in and you can do blemish removal on photos. You can whiten teeth. You can cross process and do all these kinds of crazy things. So you can use these for your other photos, not just those involved with business, but really cool tool to get a hold of and start using. Next up, we have CompFight. Now, CompFight is a really cool place to go if you're looking for images for sharing socially or for blog posts or other things that you're doing within newsletters, whatever the case may be. So if you wanted to find, you know, I'll just search home, I guess, just something really simple here. It'll come in and it'll pull up a bunch of different images that you can use basically for free. These are all Creative Commons licensed for the most part. You can check off whether or not it's Creative Commons licensed over here on the side. Creative Commons license just means that you can use it without, you know, having to, you know, pay someone for it or what have you. So you can take, you know, this image here and you can just download it. Very, very cool, free, awesome. Dear Lord, how old is that iPhone? My goodness. Anyway. Next up, guys, is going to be content curation. Now, content isn't king like everyone says. It is literally the kingdom. In order to provide a consistent stream of content for your prospects, for your potential investors, customers, whatever the case is, you need to be doing some content creation and content curation. This will provide you with that endless stream of content that you're going to need to make the sales, to stay relevant, to stay in front of your potential clients without, you know, annoying them, right? So the places that you're going to want to go to do that are a myriad of different places. First up is going to be Pinterest. Obviously, this is also a social media tool, but I really like to use it in addition to kind of the social aspects. Also, I like to use it for content curation. I like to use it because it really allows you to curate that content in a unique way, search it out in a unique way, and then share it on multiple other platforms. Next up is going to be LinkedIn Pulse. Now, all you have to do is... Are we back? I see. It seems like we're back. Fabulous. Good. Cool. Seems like we're back. Wonderful. I see all my questions are back. Cool. Let's continue diving in. So what we want to do is we want to go back to LinkedIn. So here we go. Thanks to everybody for letting me know that the connection was dropped. I really appreciate that. Cool. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to LinkedIn Pulse. So what LinkedIn Pulse allows you to do, by the way, if you stayed with me, I appreciate you very much. It shows you any of the content that anybody that you're currently following has, you know, shared recently, which is really, really cool. It's kind of your news, but it also allows you to check out the top posts of, you know, other influencers, other people within spaces. You can check out the top posts from today, this week, all time, recent different posts, things like that. You can also click on Discover, which will allow you to do, you know, click on different influencers. And if you find someone that is producing really good content, you'll be able to kind of follow everything they're doing and use that content to continue to market to your people, your space, and providing them with something that they couldn't find otherwise. So another place to go for content curation is going to be Flipboard. Now, Flipboard, whether it's the app or the online tool, allows you to jump in and kind of see articles on topics you care about and your market cares about. So you can kind of I can go to following here. I'm currently logged in on Flipboard. So that's flipboard.com. You can go in here and you can see that I follow stuff on marketing, productivity, creativity, branding, copywriting, real estate investing, real estate, online marketing, all this kind of stuff. And so what you can do here is you can go in and you can find topics that the people within your sphere care about, and then you can provide them more stuff from a content curation standpoint. And where and how do you provide it is something that a lot of people ask. And the place to do that is going to be called Review. Now, what Review is an app that allows you to create weekly emails done for you, and it sends it out to your database that you have plugged in to the back end of Review. So what you get are these really beautiful emails, these newsletters that go out on your behalf from the content you're already reading and finding online. So a lot of you aren't using email as effectively as you should be. And to solve that issue, using something like Review, using something that is done kind of for you with a focus on curation, is really, really cool and pretty awesome. If you go over here to the pricing, I think it's free up to 200 subscribers, up to 1,500 for $5. So for $5, you can do this kind of free curation style newsletter send outs. So really, really neat. Very, very cool. So when it comes to marketing, curation is going to be the way that you continue to provide that content to your people without you having to do necessarily all of the creation and all of the work. SEO is the next thing we're going to be talking about from a marketing perspective. SEO is important. If people can't find you, if you're blogging or creating content or your website, then what's the purpose of all of this, right? So that's why it's a part of marketing. But it is not a magic pill. It's not a magic bullet for your business, but it should not be neglected. So let's go over a few tools from the SEO space. So these are my favorite tools when it comes to SEO. Number one is going to be QuickSprout. First of all, it's an awesome blog. I highly recommend you check it out. But if you go to quicksprout.com, their main page, you'll see this image right here where you can plug in your URL and then you hit search. And it provides you with a litany of recommendations on how to improve your website. Very cool. It takes a little while, which is why we're not going to show it live, but it is very cool. Highly recommend it. If you have a website, you go there and plug in your URL and see what it spits back out to you. Next up is going to be Open Site Explorer. This allows you to do some competitive link research on some of the competition that you might have in your area. So if you're a traditional real estate investor and you've got someone that's doing wholesaling or fix and flip, or you're a note investor and you want to kind of corner the market in your part of the country, this is something that you can use to do some of that competitive link research. Word Tracker is very similar. I find that they give me not necessarily conflicting information, just different information. So I like to use both of them. Obviously, it mentions right there, it's similar to the Google keyword tool. That's a free tool, obviously, from Google, but these two I find to be much easier to navigate and understand. Last is going to be Yoast. Yoast is a plugin that you can put on the back end of your WordPress site, which is where that's all the sites I build are on WordPress. And it just allows you to, like it says there, easily navigate, make your website faster and more reliable. It just increases the punch that your SEO has. And it has a lot of different features kind of built in. Huge fan of Yoast. Not a free plugin. And so you definitely want to, make sure you know what you're doing before you just jump right in, or have someone that building out your website buy it for you and implement all the things that need to be done with it. Next up is going to be education. Education is obviously vital. Everything's moving so quickly, fast paced. You need to adapt. You need to adapt your business. You need to adapt your marketing, all that kind of stuff. So these are the places I recommend that you go to get better educated on all the things within your. See if anybody has questions. Nope, we're good. So lynda.com, I recommend you check out lynda.com for an educational pieces that are extremely high level. You can jump in here if you're a note investor and your skills on, say, Excel, which is very important within this business, are lacking. You can jump in there and learn a ton of stuff about Excel. If you have some marketing questions, video questions on how to do some better video within your business, or maybe just business planning. There are so many different courses and classes. Highly recommend lynda.com. Next up is going to be TED. A lot of people know TED Talks, the video kind of database that, is hundreds of different topics on hundreds of different speakers. You can get a lot of really interesting business insights from TED on top of doing a little bit of curation for yourself as well. Medium is another platform that allows you to do some of that curation plus as well, which is kind of neat. But they have people that produce content that is extremely high level and allows you to, I'm actually going to jump over there now, and allows you to do some really cool stuff. So this is Lynda. You can see they've got a bunch of really cool apps and educational pieces there. This is obviously TED Talks here, highly recommended. Over on Medium. So Medium is kind of a blogging platform that a lot of people publish to. So you can get a lot of really great kind of business insights. Again, another place to have really great curation opportunities as well. But what it does is, and what I really like about Medium, is that they do a really great job of taking people's content that might not be necessarily super well known, and they share it anyway if it's a good piece of content. And so you can get a lot of really awesome ideas from people you never would have heard of, or people you don't know about, that you wouldn't otherwise be able to check out. So Medium is really, really cool. Obviously they have feature tags. If there's something you're interested in, you can click on that and check it out. But this is like a really entertaining way to educate yourself on a myriad of different things, as well as doing some of that content curation we talked about. The last thing is going to be, I forgot one piece from an educational standpoint, and that is, of course, the Note MBA podcast. I've got to plug it, obviously. No, this is a really cool show that Robert Woods and I do on a weekly basis every Wednesday. We just had one come out yesterday. And if you're a note investor, real estate investor, whatever, this is a really cool podcast that we put together for you guys that we try to provide a ton of content for. So be sure to check it out over on iTunes at notemba.com/iTunes, or just go to notemba.com. Really cool educational piece there. Lastly is going to be organization. Staying organized is obviously what's going to help you be efficient and effective in your business. Organization is a huge kind of something that hamstrings me often. I'm not a super organized person. So these are the apps and the tools that I use to keep myself organized. First up is Evernote. I'm not the best person to ask about Evernote. I don't use it to what is its fullest. I know a lot of people that use it for a lot more than I do. I really just use it as a place to capture and catalog quotes or things from books that I've read that I really enjoy, random ideas, so I can kind of formulate future content, future presentations, things like that. But it does an amazing number of other things. The one thing I really do like about Evernote that I didn't actually put on here from an organizational standpoint is that the Evernote app, you can actually pay for it. I think it's like $5 a month or something like that. But what it allows you to do is it allows you to take pictures of business cards and then adds them to your contacts. It's one of the best business card kind of picture taker organizing app that I know of, and it comes with the paid version of Evernote. So I use it for that, and if that's all you use it for, because of all the events that you're going to, I think it'll definitely pay off. For whatever it is, the $5 a month, I think. Next up is going to be Dropbox. Anybody that's done business with me knows how vital Dropbox is to my business. I use it for almost exclusively for collaboration and storage online. Robbie and I, for our podcast, we have a folder. The people that I help from a marketing client standpoint, we have a Dropbox folder. Dropbox is incredibly important in my business. Highly recommend it. Next up is going to be 1Password. This is an app that I use on my phone as well as on my, look at that. We got a little exit thing there. That's nice. What it allows you to do is it allows you to kind of keep all of your passwords. And I guess I don't want to load it, do I? Because then you guys will see all my passwords. That might be bad. Anyway, what it allows you to do is allows you to keep all your passwords in one place and keeps them secure. It's really, really neat. It works across multiple different platforms: PC, Mac, iPhone, Android, whatever. Very cool piece of software that allows you to kind of use more sophisticated passwords that you don't have to remember. So a lot of my passwords for my more important stuff are like 27, 28 characters long. And there's no way I'd be able to remember that, but they're all kept and stored in one password. So it keeps me secure and organized in that way. Then the last thing I want to talk about is called rescue time. I have a little paragraph down there with so many distractions and possibilities in digital life. It's easy to get scattered. Rescue time helps you understand your daily habits so you can focus and be more productive. It is so much more than that. If you get nothing else from this webinar, please go use rescue time. I'm actually going to log into my actual rescue time here and show you the back end of it. So this is the back end of rescue time for me today. So you can already see, well, if I refresh the page, I think you'll be able to see it a little better. I wonder what happens if I refresh the page. There you go. Fabulous. So you can see that I went from 80, whatever it was, 89 or 87% productive down to 77%, which is terrible. But it's basically telling me that I am currently, this is how productive I'm being. It lets you know where your focus time is on business, entertainment, YouTube, whatever the case is, scheduling, and things like that. So it's actually calling Google Hangouts. So this is really going to be kind of cool. It's calling Google Hangouts basically a waste of time, which I hope it isn't for you. It definitely isn't for me. But it's calling it a communication and scheduling instant message app. So it's saying it's a very distracting app, but it isn't. I'm using it currently for my business. So I can jump in here and I can edit this. And I can say, no, this is a business app I'm using for marketing, right? And so now it went from unproductive time to very productive time. So if I jump back over to my dashboard, I went up to 70, from 77 to 85%. So I'm back in a more comfortable range for me. I'm in a range that I understand, I might have been slacking a little bit today, but for the most part, I got a ton of work done today. And this allows me to keep track of that. I told a story when we were out at Noteworthy that when I was laid off, I saw, because they send you an email saying, hey, this is how productive you've been this week. I saw my emails go from an average of, between 87 to 92% productive as the weeks went on of being laid off, down to 70 and 60 and 50 and 40 and 30. And then finally I got an email that said you were 22% productive this week. And it was after a couple of weeks of having been laid off and not really focusing on my real estate business and not doing the things I needed to do for me, my family, my business, and all that kind of stuff. And it really lit a fire under me. So I highly recommend you check out Rescue Time. It can be a little daunting and a little bit scary at first because you're not going to be nearly as productive as you think you are. But it's an amazing tool, an amazing app. It runs automatically in the background, and it can change the way you do your business. It's truly fantastic. It's an amazing app. So that is all. Fantastic. Okay, guys. So that is all of the things that we had to talk about from Noteworthy. We had the, all of the apps that I use kind of on a daily basis. So those are the 24 things that I'm constantly using, whether it's doing the marketing for me, for the podcast, for my note business, for some marketing clients that I have, building the websites that I build, all of that kind of stuff. Those are the apps that I use to market better and be more effective in what I'm doing. If you want to download the PDF, and I'll send a link out to everybody, you can go to notemba.com/24 for 24 tools, and you just click download there and you can rock and roll. Whenever you click download there, you'll put your email address in, and I'll just kind of be sending out some daily tips to people from a marketing perspective for things that you can be doing every single day to kind of, continue to grow your business and do the things you need to do from a marketing perspective. It doesn't look like anybody has any questions, but if you do have some questions and you just weren't able to get on Google+, send me an email. You can send it over to me at ask@notemba.com. That is ask@notemba.com. And I can answer any questions that you have there. Other than that, I appreciate you guys coming out. I appreciate you doing the webinar. from a tools perspective and the things that you're doing in your business, I always say it's important to be effective and to be efficient. If you have a piece of software or tool or some technology or an app or anything like that that you're currently using that you want me to check out, or you want some clarification on, or whatever the case is, again, you can just send me an email at that ask@nodemba.com email address, and we'll get it done for you. So anyway, go download the PDF if you want it. And again, I'll be sending out a reminder. This, of course, was recorded-ish, I guess, even though we had that lull. So I appreciate you hanging out with me. But yeah, thanks, guys. And we'll catch you next time. And be sure to check us out over on iTunes, Node MBA. Bye, guys.